Hey there, welcome to day 2681 of What Shape to Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting my journey mostly as I move from the offline brick and mortar corporate world of businesses to the online world of business, and then back and forth again. I learned during the pandemic that we needed to absolutely, always believe we needed to have multiple streams of income, but I think the pandemic proved that to me more solidly than any other thing in my past experience, or probably in the future as well, that we need to be prepared, especially when things outside of our control happen. Well, today we're switching gears from financial health and well-being, financial area of the life framework, to contribution. And contribution, it is actually one of my favorite areas of the life framework, because it's about how do we show up in the world, how do we show up in the groups, and how do we show up in our life with respect to how we impact things outside of us. And so yesterday I decided, okay, I'm going to use our six senses to look at my definition of contribution, and if that's an interesting framework to use. Well, I ended up spending like an hour or so on it because it was super interesting. I have 3 pages of notes, which meant I talked way too long in the Be a Better You annual challenge. I talked, I think, 12 minutes. Yikes. And then I shrunk it down to 7 minutes for the Supersize Your Business. That's still pretty long. But basically, we're looking at our senses. And then I realized between those 2 videos, I totally forgot the sense of smell. How do you forget a whole sense of smell? I mean, things smell all the time. They smell good, they smell bad. But how does that play into how you personally, as well as professionally, define contribution? And to me, a couple of components of my definition, which I haven't mapped out again yet for this year's challenge, are, am I setting an example? Am I being a good example, or am I being a warning? And I want to make sure that I'm being a good example much more often than I'm being a warning. And am I making the world a better place? Are the things that I'm doing, the things that I'm saying, how I'm showing up, when I'm showing up, where I'm showing up, is that making the world a better place or not? And only I can decide that, right? Other people can give me feedback, but it's up to me. How does it make me feel inside, which is intuition and feeling, two of our senses actually. If it feels good to me, I'm probably doing the right thing. If it feels yucky or bad or off, then it's probably not right for me. Might be right for somebody else, but it's not right for me. So I'm going to tweak and test and change until it feels right for me. So how do we use our sense of sight, sound, smell, sight, hearing, smell, touch, feeling, like the inside, how we feel about things, our emotions, our emotional intelligence, our intuition, our sixth sense, that gut instinct that tells us, don't go down that dark alley, don't walk down that path in the park, don't take this route home, and then find out once you get home that there was a huge accident on your normal driving route. And ask yourself today, how do I show up in the world? How do I impact other people? How do I impact the world in all the different areas and aspects of my life? How do I contribute to things outside of myself, right? It's really everything outside of ourselves and how we interact with that and how we show up in the world. Are you present? Being present is one of the most important things that we can do, and we can do that by touching. If you give somebody a hug, you're present. If you smile at a stranger, you're present in that instant with that stranger, and maybe you're giving them the positive reinforcement that they need, that they're not crazy and they're going to be okay, because they're going through something that nobody else is acknowledging, because they're probably not sharing and telling anybody. I talked about the power of a handwritten, which falls under, it's kind of a communication thing, but it's a touch thing. A handwritten letter or card for an occasion, or just to tell somebody you're thinking about them, is so much more powerful than just a text or a quick call and a message on an answering machine, right? It has a different feel and impact to it, and it contributes in a more positive way generally than just a text or an email or a social media post, etc. So that's what I'm working on today. I'm going to have fun with this. I had fun with it yesterday. I'm going to really have fun with it today as I'm using it to define contribution for myself, both in Supersize Your Business as well as Be a Better You annual challenge. If I can help you in any way, hit me up and ask. Going on a fun little sleepover with my granddaughter to my sister's house tomorrow, because her family is out in a golf tournament. Her boys are gone, so we like to have sleepovers sometimes. It's good for the granddaughters, and My granddaughter's never done that, so I thought it would be fun. My second granddaughter. The little one's a little too little. We invited the oldest one, but I don't know if she'll be able to make it or not. We will see. Have an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, let me know. Otherwise, have a blast exploring, I guess, your 7 senses, not your 6 senses. If we add feeling and if we add, as in emotional intelligence, and how do we emotionally interact and feel about things, to me, that's different than touch. Touch is how things feel, but how physically actually connecting and touching things. All right. Have an awesome day. I'll be with you tomorrow.